Welcome to the final tutorial, episode 9 of the Learn to Wrap series, and today we're doing the trunk and the spoiler. This episode is probably going to be the most relatable for all the DIYers watching because there's a lot of problems with disassembly of this trunk. The first problem is the rear wiper right here. So this has a nut on it and it's so seized up that the nut is spinning and it's spinning the entire motor inside, and there's no way to get my hands on this there's another metal sleeve underneath here to hold it underneath. There's no way for me to get it, so it's just spinning around, so I can't remove this. It's stuck on there. Now that's a big problem because it's sticking up a lot, so I'm going to treat it like a shark fin antenna. When you're wrapping a roof that has a shark fin antenna, typically, if I'm doing it, I'll cut out like a mini hole to start on the vinyl, unroll it, kind of place the vinyl, position it around that hole, around the shark fin antenna, and then lay the vinyl around it. I know it sounds confusing when I'm just explaining it. I'll show the process, but that's my idea with how I'm going to treat this. We'll see how, if it works. I hope it does, but that's the first issue. The second issue is this trim piece right here. So I mentioned before, I couldn't remove this because the bolts are all rusted underneath and they were just spinning in place. So this has got to stay on. The main problem I found when you're doing a trunk and you leave this piece on is underneath, you'll see I've put a piece of tape all along the bottom of it because when this thing moves, sorry, it's hard to hold the camera right now. When this thing moves like this, dust and all the stuff falls out, gets underneath the wrap, and then in this area, it looks terrible. So this is a common issue I've seen. If you can't get this trim piece off either, be prepared for a lot of contamination to get into the wrap in this area. So the thought process is lay the vinyl, do a pre-cut hole right here, slide the vinyl around it, and I'm going to start, I'm going to work from the top. We're going to do the top first and then here because most of this is negative space. See, it's just a mirror, or the back window, sorry, not a mirror. And it's all going to get cut out. So it's okay if the vinyl's messed up. But down here, all of this needs to get wrapped. So I really want to start wrapping this after I have this complicated area, after this is already set. So that's the plan. Let's see if it works. Similar to wrapping around a shark fin antenna, I find the best way to wrap around any raised object is to pre-cut a hole smaller than the actual object, then try to fit the object through the pre-cut hole. Always err on the side of caution and make the cut smaller than you think. If it's too big, you'll have paint showing, and that's an automatic rewrap. I underestimated how difficult this panel was going to be. Instead of it being a flat panel, the curve in the trunk added extra complexity that I did not account for. Regardless, I unrolled the vinyl about halfway, slid the post for the rear wiper through our pre-cut hole, then laid the vinyl in place. Instead of working the top, I finished the area below the wiper first because I didn't want a massive glue line from the tension caused by the backing paper still being attached. Resist the temptation to work the left side, then the right side, and meet back in the middle near the license plate area. Remember, you always work from the middle out towards the edges. If you start working towards the middle, you will have a bunch of excess material with no place for it to go. Again, always middle out. For trimming around the lights, I recommend wrapping in at least ½ an inch instead of the typical ¼ inch. Some taillights can sit a little recessed and you need to wrap further in to make sure you get that full coverage. For the rear window, use the same technique we used on the other windows. Cut away the majority of the vinyl, tuck in the remaining as close as you can to the seal, trim away a bit more vinyl, then tuck in the rest. This technique also works for around any raised objects like the rear wiper because it ensures you do not cut the vinyl short. I used an inlay around the rear lock because if I laid the main piece and just cut out the hole, there would not be enough vinyl left to tuck in. These are judgment calls you need to make as you go because every car will be different. If you're unsure, again, I would err on the side of caution and use an inlay just to be safe. The trunk is completely done, but as anticipated, there are some issues. So let's take a look. Underneath here, we're able to avoid that really bad contamination. There's a couple dots right here. This is the worst piece of debris right here. And yeah, it's like really bad, but luckily the license plate is here, so that will cover it, but still. But that's not even the worst of it. Right next to the wiper, we have all of this. Now, 100%, this is from repositioning the vinyl so many times and having to work around that wiper. With hindsight being 2020, what I should have done, actually, you know what? There's a couple things. First thing is, if someone's paying you, like if you have a paying customer and that's the wrap, that's the quality of the wrap with that much contamination underneath it, that's just completely unacceptable and it has to be a rewrap. In the same breath, if you're a customer paying a shop and that's the quality of the wrap they give you, you should be able to complain about that because I don't think that's acceptable. So if someone was paying me to wrap their car and I wrapped it and it had that much contamination, 100%, it's a redo. You have to redo it. So what I should have done was actually use two people. So me personally, I know there's solo installers that are super good that can work around things like that, but I know my limitations. And I know that if I had another, not even another installer, like I'd probably just ask Marilyn, like my wife, or even, I don't know, call a friend, someone, all you need is someone to hold the vinyl for you. This panel was very curved, so it made it more difficult. But if you have just an extra set of hands, it makes things so much easier. So that's probably what I would do. If someone was paying me for this car, I'd probably just call Marilyn and be like, hey, can you come to the shop? I need you to hold a piece of vinyl for me for 5 minutes while we work around it. Because as you saw, when I'm doing it by myself, I'm picking up and putting it down so many times, you're just introducing so many opportunities for this contamination to happen. Now, it is possible to wrap it by yourself. As you saw, it's completely done. I did it all by myself, but the quality is not there. For us, it's an old car. It's not that big a deal. But if it was a customer's car, someone paying you, or you just really want that perfect, like that perfect finish, no dust, nothing at all, then I'd probably recommend, honestly, just ask for an extra set of hands. Ask someone for help, buy them a case of beer or something, and it'll make your life so much easier. But now that the trunk's done, let's do the spoiler. This is the spoiler right here. It mounts like this on the back of the car. This is the front, and this is the back. So the way I typically do a spoiler is I actually use two pieces. Now, to me, it's not an ego challenge. I really don't care. I just want it to look good and I want it to last a long time. So normally, in previous videos, I've always said use the body line as like your guide for when you're putting seams because they become invisible when you use the body line. I'm going to change that rule right now because we want, if a seam is going to be visible, yes, you want to hide it on a body line. But if you can just hide the seam in the first place so no one sees it, that's even better. So if this is a spoiler like this, right? I mean, it's up pretty high still, but really this part under here is a lot less visible than the sides and the top. So we're gonna hide the seam under here, and I'm actually gonna put it, so I'm gonna do the bottom piece first. I'm gonna put knifeless tape, and I'm gonna go right here along this line, not on the seam up top, or not on the body line up top, sorry. I'm gonna go on the soft body line here. I'm gonna follow this all the way around here and down. So this whole thing, all of this and this, let me turn it this way. Sorry, I lost our camera for a second there. So back to what I was saying. I'm gonna use the soft body line here, all along here. And the piece that's gonna get wrapped is this face and this face. So there's gonna be another seam here on the front edge, but again, on the soft body line, and then one seam up there. Then, when we do the top, I'm gonna do all of this as one piece. It's gonna come down the side here. This will all be one piece. And the seam, I'm gonna overlap down here, right? So the first line's there. The second one will be underneath it. And the seam will be facing away from us. When the car is driving down the road, the wing's gonna be like this. The seam will be here facing that way. No one will be able to tell it's there. You won't be able to see it because it's facing away from you. Like the front edge of that seam is going to be here and facing the front of the car. No one behind the vehicle will be able to tell it's there. And I think it'll just look like a really clean install. As you can see, prepping and wrapping the spoiler is not difficult technically. Like it's very straightforward. But the fact that it's not secured to anything makes it incredibly frustrating. If there's any wrappers watching this, how do you hold small pieces like this while you're wrapping them? I haven't found a technique that I'm happy with, so if you have something that works, please let me know. Again, like every other panel we've wrapped, when you see me using heat, it's to relax the vinyl or stretch it around a corner. Do not use heat to pull the vinyl towards an edge. I'm telling you guys, if you do that, it will 100% fail. Maybe not right away, but guaranteed the vinyl will pull back. Take it slow, use your heat gun as little as possible, and you're well on your way to being a pro wrapper. There it is, the spoiler on the trunk, on the car that we wrapped everything on. Let's get a little closer actually. From right here, obviously you can't see anything, but the seam is just, see it right there? Underneath there with the light hitting it, you could see it that way. But as soon as you're behind it, there's no way you're seeing that seam. It's hidden really well. And that's it, the entire car is wrapped. I got to do a little bit of odds and ends, mirrors, door handles. I'm going to add a little bit of a stripe to this thing too. But the mirrors and door handles are so unique on this car that I really don't think there's a point in showing them because it's not really going to be helpful. The next car we do, for sure, I'll show the mirrors and handles if it's relevant. But I can't believe we did it. So this was a lot of work, this car. Old cars, man, I'm telling you, old cars. I mean, change the door lock actuators. You have to change the antenna, the rear wiper, even the door handles. I had to buy all new door handles, got to fix those. So it's a lot of work. But I'm telling you, the satisfaction I'm feeling now, it's so worth it, guys. So if you're on the fence about it, 100% do it. Even if it doesn't come out good, it's just, you're learning a skill, you're trying something new. I definitely think it's worth it. I really hope this video series helped you guys wrap your own car at home. And again, I apologize for the mistakes I made when I was trying to show you guys, different tutorials on how to wrap certain things. It wasn't intentional, obviously, but I'm just trying to keep it real. I never said or never tried to act like I was the best vinyl wrapper out there. I know I'm not. I still got a lot to learn. And maybe there might be pros watching the second comment and tell me what I'm doing wrong so I can learn from that. And I'll learn from my mistakes. And hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. You don't have to make them in the first place. But I just, I think it's good to see that this is just real. Life is not like everything you see on Instagram. You know, sometimes you got to see the bad stuff too. So that's it. Like we're done with the tutorials. That's it. There's no more. We're done with all the type of learn how to wrap different panels in this series, but we have to surprise Marilyn with the car. We have to show her this because she doesn't even know we're doing it. She doesn't know the color. She doesn't know anything. So the next video will be the final video. No more episodes in a Learn to Wrap series. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I'm really grateful for everyone who watches these videos. I hope they helped you. And let's wrap it up nicely with, final reaction, and we get to see the finished product in the next video. I hope to see you there. And as always, thanks for watching.